I got three goods and I got three bads. Either way, that was a crushing loss in Lumen Field. Let's get into it. Let's go.
It's the Reset with G. Scott.
17-13 was the final, and yesterday in Lumen Field was not a good time. I ain't got to tell you, you saw it or you were there. It was rough. I'm going to get into three goods and three bads from last game. More importantly, I want to let you know to like, subscribe, share, and all that. No guest today on the show. It's just me and you. We got to have this conversation because that loss right there is one that I believe that the Seahawks are going to be chasing all season long. That loss stung. There's no way that they're supposed to lose that game. Now, I came into this and I thought, I'm going to give you three goods and three bads. But before I do, I'm going to be very transparent about something with you. I feel like a little bit I can't really tell the truth and really dig in to why the Seahawks lost that game and what some of my real opinions on some of these, because I feel like it's too early and I think it might cut a little deep. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you the three goods and three bads, and I'm admitting to you that I am not putting my foot all the way on the gas because there's things that I want to say that I got to hold back on because sometimes feelings get hurt and then people make and feel like they're bold declarations as if the Seahawks can't bounce back from this. They can. The Seahawks can bounce back from this. But at the end of the day, there's trouble right now on the horizon. You got to win that game. You got to win that because guess what's happening? This Sunday, you're on the road to Pittsburgh, who is their home opener with Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf. This is about to get real. And then you come home against the Saints, and then you're back on the road with a division game against the Labubu quarterback and my man over there in Arizona. I seriously shouldn't have called him a Labubu quarterback. I apologize for that. Please don't be mad at me. But let's get into the three goods and the three bads. I always like to do this, right? I like to go good news before bad. The good news is this Seahawks defense is real. Specifically, I want to talk about that line, Jay Reed and Leonard Williams. San Fran couldn't run the ball against the Seahawks. Them dudes were incredible out there. This defense is actually, I believe, better than advertised. You kind of wondered during the season if maybe there was a lot of hype. The hype is real. This defense is hands down, no joke. Right now, that is the highlight of this team. That is the glaring difference. The way that defense came, the first drive, don't get me wrong, that first drive was a little rough. The Niners kind of got it done. But the way they sustained and held up the rest of the way up until the end was beautiful football. Shout out to the defense. Number two, I'd say all the time that JSN is the best in the world. JSN is a bad dude. 9 receptions, 124 yards receiving. JSN will lead the league in receptions this season. I'm counting on that one. He will also break Seahawks records for receptions in a season. I'm counting on that as well. It's hard to stop JSN. The dude gets open easy, always open in that situation. I would love to continue to see them going to them, but JSN is actually going to come up in the bads here in a second. So while I will celebrate the goods, JSN is absolutely ridiculous. And number three on the goods, I got to give love to the 12s and the atmosphere inside of Lumen Field. It was rocking in that thing. For everybody talking about 53% on Niner fans or, hey, I saw on TV, there were a lot of Niner fans. What you saw on TV was the away side, right? That was the away side of the Niners. And you see on TV, they kind of showed a lot of the Niner fans right there. Niner fans were concentrated in that area. There were sprinkles all over. I'd say it was about 30% Niner fans to 70% Seahawk fans. Seahawk fans, 12s, you did your thing. My wife came home and was like, they were standing in my section the entire time. That's what I'm talking about. It was a playoff mentality. The atmosphere was dope. Everything was, it was just there for the taking. It was the 12s. It was, I would say, it was the most energized that I'd seen pregame, mid-game, during the game, all the way up to the loss happened. But man, 12, shout out to you. That stadium was everything that this team needed. Now, we got to get to the three bads. And, it's rough. The first bad is Seahawks can't lose that game. You absolutely can't lose that game. You get 2 takeaways on defense. You get the Niners to miss a field goal. You actually block a field goal, right? You do all of these things in that game. You're at home in front of the 12s, an energized 12s. It's a divisional rival. It's a division game. It's the calm before the storm. Everything was there and you lose it? You can't lose that game in that situation. I feel that this loss right here, and I hope I'm wrong, I really do. I feel this loss right here against the Niners will feel and we will be talked about the same way we talked about that loss against the Giants at home a while ago. Can't have that. That was a win that you gotta have right there. Everything was done right. The 2 takeaways, missed field goal, blocked field goal. Come on, Seahawks. This is just, that was rough. Number 2, when it comes to bads, I'd say the offense. Outside of JSN, the rest of that offense reminded me of green bean casserole at a barbecue in July. Bland. There was no seasonings at all to that offense. And I am afraid that on Sunday, we're going to see just that. JSN, I believe, will be clouded on Sunday, and they will say to the rest of the receiving corps, to the pass catchers, you got to beat us, not JSN. And if that's going to happen, this next game, Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, pass catchers, y'all going to have to step up or this offense is in trouble. And I don't know what's going on with K9 and Charbonnet. I mean, obviously we're seeing right now Charbonnet is maybe turning into running back number 1. I hope Kenneth Walker III, I hope he's great. I hope he's healthy. But something doesn't seem right there when it comes to Charbonnet. And as far as carries, he's got more carries than K9. Is Charbonnet number 1? I don't know. Remain to be seen. We'll be seeing in Pittsburgh what the deal is. But that offense right there, that was the bad. That offense was stagnant. You cannot continue with that to be successful. And number 3 on the bads, the last 8 home regular season games, the Seahawks are 1-7. Come on now. This can't continue to happen. It feels like people keep climbing in our backyard over the fence, stealing stuff out of our backyard, and then look at the Ring camera and wave and smile while they take our stuff. This is rough. 1-7. The home dominance. Right now, the San Francisco 49ers have won 4 in a row right here in this house. There used to be a time home field mattered. And by the way, fans did everything you were supposed to in Lumen. You had the energy. You had the excitement. Everything was rocking. So I gave you 3 goods and 3 bads. And here's a few things that I'm starting to question and I'm trying to ask myself again. It's only game one, so we'll see. Will the Seahawks continue to dress three quarterbacks? That's different, especially when your third quarterback, Jalen Milroe, who we kind of expected, I'm sure the Niners thought that they would see Jalen Milroe in some different packages. If he's going to get one snap the entire game, then dressing three quarterbacks might not be a great idea, considering who do you shorten? You shorten up on the offensive line? You shorten up in other position groups? Either way, dressing three quarterbacks and your third quarterback is going to get one snap. We're going to see how that plays out. That's going to be continuing to be a tough thing to do. Look, it's just game number one, right? But it's not just game number one. It was a division game. It was a division rival that happened. And I would argue that Brock Purdy might be the quarterback, and I would rank Brock Purdy number 4 in starting quarterbacks in the league. In the division. I would rank Brock Purdy number 4. And I'm saying that is I think Arizona's quarterback, I think LA Rams quarterback, I think the Seahawks quarterback are all better than him, and the Seahawks did not get that win. I think Brock Purdy, to be honest with you, I think those passes could have easily been intercepted. And I know you guys are wanting me to say it, some of the reasons as to who wasn't getting it jumped. I'm not going to sit here. Look, people have said enough about Reek Woolen and what's going on. Hey, those are big plays. Those are big plays. I felt like when that wide receiver was out there against Reek Woolen, felt like I was watching White Man Can't Jump when Woody Harrelson was out there hooping on Wesley Snipes. Felt that way. So, yes, those are big plays, but those could have easily been intercepted. And that, by the way, the Niners had a game-winning drive with Kittle sitting on the bench. With number 88, their tight end, he hadn't had any catches in the game. That dude went for 3 catches and a touchdown. We will see going forward what this is going to mean. I do know this. I don't think the Niners are that good. However, the Niners do have a favorable schedule right now going forward in their next few games. So a lot of things got to happen, but more importantly, the Seahawks got to get back in that win column. I'm not getting into must wins, but this is a must win on the road. It's the only way to get back on track. It's the only way. In order for this team to get back in that driver's seat, talking about playoffs towards the end of the season, some of these games you got to win. And unfortunately, when you lose that game at home like that, a game that you should have, you definitely got to go and get this one. Now, I'm not trying to say that things can't happen if you start a certain way 0-2, but, it's a sense of urgency right here, right? This sense of urgency and getting a win, that's definitely more important. One of the things that I'll just kind of leave you guys with, and you can put these comments in the chats on what your concerns are with this team. And things that I'm going to have my good eye on. The defense is fine. I really do. I think the defense is going to get better. Shout out to Josh Jobe out there. I think he was out of Alabama back in 2022. He's a dog. That dude gets busy. I want to see and continue to see more of him out there on the field. But some things that I got and have concerns with right now with this team is, will this offense step up? Because this offense is going to have to be better than what we saw, much better than what we saw. Now, I know things start to take time, first game of the season, but hey, I'm going to have my good eye on this offense. Specifically, I want to see the run game be able to step up, because that's kind of something that I hung my hat on going into this season. Is I thought that out of all the position groups on offense, I thought that the running back room was going to be the one that does their thing. Charbonnet, you look fantastic. You look great. But the reason, there's talent in that running back room. So that tandem is going to have to continue to be. In the second half of yesterday's game, there were more rushing attempts than pass attempts in that game. So there's not like there wasn't an effort to run the ball, just an offense that just stalled a lot. One of the next things I'm going to be concerned with is I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. This might not be popular, but I got to say it. Is Cooper Kupp's best days behind him or in front of him? I want to see more out of Cooper Kupp. I did not see the separation like I'm used to seeing with Cooper Kupp back in the day. I just didn't feel it, and I didn't see it in that game. And if there's not going to be that separation, and Sam Darnold likes to get that ball out early, this offense is going to be in trouble. If they continue and will cloud JSN, there's going to have to be other people that step up. And Cooper Kupp is going to have to be a solid number two, not a kind of number two. No, he has to be a solid number two, considering what the Seahawks had last season in pass catchers. You had JSN, DK, and Tyler Lockett. There's no way that you can go into this season and the production out of the wide receiver room could be less than that. That ain't going to work. As some of these kids say, the math ain't mathing. So continue to need to see better production out of the wide receiver room, and JSN needs help. There's no way he can continue to be the number one guy, 9 catches, 124 yards. There are going to be defenses. By the way, these defensive coordinators, they get paid too. They got a job to do. You guys saw, you know what you would do if you was playing against JSN in this offense. You would cloud and you'd say, you know what? Everybody else beat this team except for JSN. So, thank you for letting me vent and get this off my chest. Later on this week, on Thursday, me, Bane, and I will sit down. The All-22 is getting ready to come out. And maybe when we look at the All-22, maybe we might see things differently. Maybe some things on film will look a different way. Maybe I'll look more favorable at the wide receiver core. But as of right now, the defense, check. Oh, shout out to the punter. By the way, is Michael Dixon low-key might be the best punter in NFL history, period, the way that dude gets down. It's incredible how he is. So shout out to the punter, special teams on that in that situation. Gotta get the offense, man. That offense is just I want to see better out of that. And by the way, there was some play calling in that, and it was unfortunate towards the end where they got to the 10-yard line and getting ready to close and win this game. And, you know, Bosa being Bosa, does what he does. Strip sack, one of the best plays in football, recovers it. That's a hurt. That's a awful turnover right there. Got to take care of the ball. So again, all isn't hurt, but there are concerns. So what I'm going to do, and like I said during this episode, I'm not going to go as hard. I'm going to kind of relax a little bit, but I got my good eye on things. If some of the things that I have concern with don't shape up, I'm going to call it out. I have to. You're seeing it. Everyone else is seeing it. I hope Rick Woolen, I hope he bounces back and continues, because 1 minute he has a great pass block up. You know what I mean? Like that was, it was great. And then the next, of course, the touchdown at the end. But look, I'm not putting any game on one player. It takes an entire team, franchise, and organization to win and lose games. So I'm not doing that and putting it on Reek. So let's get this W on Sunday. But more importantly, we will talk about this Pittsburgh team. This is a home opener for Pittsburgh. Let's really, really hope Seahawks get that game play together and bounce back. All right. No more losses at the crib. Tired of seeing that loss. Can't have that. This next home game is going to be against the Saints, right? That's a game that, of course, the Seahawks should win, but I don't want to talk about the Saints. We got to be talking about the Steelers. 10 o'clock game, Pacific time. It's going to be a beast. It's a travel deal for them on the East Coast. Home opener for the Steelers is definitely going to be a tough one. All right. That's it for me. I'm going to get on out of here. Look, this Thursday, we'll talk again. Me, Bane will be with me. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Appreciate you rocking with me. Love you for that. And as always, be kind.